The following is an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League.
Last weekend in their preseason home opener, the Carolina Panthers grabbed their second consecutive one-point victory in a win over the Miami Dolphins. Tonight, Cam Newton and the Panther offense look to round into regular season shape as Luke Kuechly and the defense prepare to square off against Tom Brady and the defending Super Bowl champions. It's the Panthers and Patriots coming up next on the Panthers Television Network. Since early this afternoon, the fans have been streaming in to Bank of America Stadium. Old fans, young fans, they want to see their heroes, and they'll be on display tonight. Cam Newton, Tom Brady at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte as it is preseason game number 3. Here we go, New England Patriots visiting the Carolina Panthers. Welcome again. We're your friends Mick Mixon and Mike Rucker, and tonight the Panthers have assembled at Bank of America Stadium, Ruck, for a little bit of study hall because the semester is getting ready to start soon. Carolina needs to buckle down. Ron Rivera wants to see more consistency on offense. How will he get that done tonight?
Well, the 2 wins are great, but it's the start that is concerning. The team has started slow, and that's going to be the emphasis tonight. Can we have an upbeat tempo tonight? And one of those persons that's going to get it going is Cam Newton, number 1. He's going to have a new center tonight. Ryan Khalil's going to be out, so you got to watch that QB exchange. But he's going to have to go into the third quarter to get his rhythm going, and he's going to have to help these receivers get going also.
He will not have Kelvin Benjamin, and without him last year, he was a different Cam Newton.
Yeah, you can see the numbers right here. They dip a little bit with KB off the field, but that's going to give an opportunity for some of these other receivers to step up and help him out too, because they got to catch the ball also. All
right, defensively, Ruck, Panthers have been dealing with injuries all along the defensive line, depleted by guys. Charles Johnson, a calf. Latulile's been in a walking boot. A back injury for K'Wan Short, and then Frank Alexander lost for the year. Who needs to step into some of these roles?
Well, you see these injuries, and those definitely hurt, but the silver lining is there's going to be some young guys that you'll see tonight. They're going to get an opportunity to play. One of those guys is number 94, Coney Ely, who has the size and the talent. The right defensive end has been by committee. He's going to be the front runner. Coach Rivera said that they want to see more consistency out of him.
That defense will be chasing 3-time Super Bowl MVP Tom Brady, and worry not, with all he's accomplished, his ego is always properly inflated. When we come back, Jordan Gross on the sideline as we inch closer to kickoff anticipated preseason game number 3 from Bank of America Stadium.
Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the Carolina Panthers. By Pepsi, official soft drink partner of the Panthers and all for the Carolinas. By Autobell Car Wash, when we shine, you shine. By Sacrete, no matter what projects are in your lineup, Sacrete has the right concrete and masonry products for the job. Use what the pros use. Ask for Sacrete at your local home improvement store. And by Bud Light. Stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Football isn't just what we watch in the American South. It's part of who we are. Bank of America Stadium, Uptown Charlotte. Mick Mixon, Mike Rucker. Let's go down on the sideline for our Gatorade Heard Around the Cooler report and Jordan Gross.
Thanks, Mick. You guys already talked about it in the open, but the Panthers are without their Pro Bowl center, Ryan Khalil, tonight, who suffered a knee injury last week against the Dolphins. Look for Brian Folkerts to replace him. This third-year player out of Washburn College is somebody that the Panthers staff has a lot of faith in, and after playing with him for one season, I concur. Folkerts is a smart player, tough player, and a real student of the game. Also, don't be surprised if right tackle Mike Rimmers moves into center and they put Darrell Williams, the rookie, in this first half for Williams to get a little bit of work against his starting Patriots defense, guys.
Could it be, in a way, a good thing? Mike, you wouldn't wish the Khalil injury on anyone, but this will force the Panthers to get into their depth a little bit up front.
Absolutely. You need to know what you have in the depth category. You don't want Ryan Khalil to go down, but when you have a guy that you can get looks at, that's going to be good for him tonight, especially against a starting defense like this Patriots defense has.
Ryan Khalil will be available, too, for sideline duty to help Coach Rivera and the other coaches keep the offensive linemen working well. Bang the drum slowly. Can you hear it? the regular season is approaching. Definitely don't want to go into the regular season either not playing well in the very key third preseason game, whereas Mike has articulated the starters will play into the third quarter tonight. Panthers have done well on the coin toss so far, winning it tonight again, and will defer. And there's Tom Brady. Brady has not been sharp yet in the preseason, but last year he pitched almost a shutout.
And that's going to be a good test. We don't know if he's going to play or not, but if he does, it's going to be a great test to have the defending Super Bowl champs here in the house.
Coach Belichick wants Tom Brady to get lathered up, get a good feel, and he thinks tonight is the night. Lewis, the deep man, hugs it against his chest. Tom Brady and the Pats will start from the 20. Here's a look at the Miller starting lineups, brought to you by Miller Beer. Veteran series of backs and receivers, but some receiver issues for the Patriots. Edelman out tonight. We won't see Brandon LaFell. Offensive line experience, but a couple of younger ones in the middle. A solid group nonetheless. And there he is, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. 6 Super Bowls, won 4, MVP in 3 of them. Goes short and left for about 7. Here's the Carolina Panther defense tonight, and that D-line patchwork. Kyle Love. Coaches are high on Love, though. We'll keep an eye on him tonight, starting with Edwards in the interior. And then the linebacker, Shaq Thompson, at the weak side linebacker spot, although we will see A.J. Klein and a lot of him tonight. Same 4 in the back half as last week. Coleman has been impressive. A thumper at one safety spot. With Gray behind Brady, it'll be Jonas Gray. Jacked up on second and makeable. No hoodie tonight. It's a little humid, even though it's a nice day in Charlotte. One more Super Bowl ring. He's got 4 already. One more, and he'll have a fistful and the most of any coach in NFL history. Bolden in the backfield on 3rd down. Incomplete. Chandler, the tight end, the intended receiver. We have a penalty flag. Drop back at the 22-yard line. Blakeman is our referee.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Offense, number 69. Penalties decline. Brings up 4th down.
Tom Brady and the Pats put a 3-and-out up. How'd the defense look to you, Mike?
Well, it's good. It's a good start for this defense to go 3-and-out. Now, hopefully that transfers over to the offense. One of the things I'd like to see tonight is see the special teams come up big. They've been kind of quiet. They can really break this game open and bring some energy into this place with some big returns.
Ted Ginn tracking the Ryan Allen punt. Comes down, tail dragging. And Ginn's got a crease. 40. Midfield. And cleanly out of bounds.
Well, we just talked about trying to get something from the special teams, and Ted Ginn Jr., one of the reasons why he's back here on this football team is because of his speed. Look at the great blocking and the lane that Ted Ginn Jr. has to get up the field.
You see the good choice, too, by 25, Ben Wickery to lay off.
So many times you see guys go that extra step and get that flag because they push in the back. Great job by Ben Wickery by pulling off.
Newton gets up off of his right knee, ready to go to work. Customarily always blows some air up under his face guard shield. Getting the feel of those hands. Short throw brought in by Kochery. Take a look at the Panthers, and here's how the starting offense deploys. May not see a lot of Stewart tonight. Tolbert joining him in the backfield. Brown, Ginn, and Olsen. And the offensive line. Caveman center. Brian Folkert's in the middle. Everything else unchanged from last week. On 2nd and 5. Third effort. Penetrates the 40. Jonathan Stewart. 4-yard gain. Patriots on defense. Very good in the giveaway takeaway game last year. 13th in total D, 9th in rushing. Collins, Mayo, Hightower at linebacker, and in the back, Butler, the Super Bowl hero, along with Chung, McCourty, and Ryan. The wing eye, third down, 1.5 yards. Stewart again. Stone by Chandler Jones. You can go for it from here. What do you think, Ruck?
Well, Mick, I think this coach staff is wanting to get something going, and when you got 2 yards, you have 2 tight ends, 2 running backs. This is where you want to pound and ground and pound. They come up short right here. You see Coach Rivera going forward on 4th down. I think he's wanting to get this team going. He's trying to get some type of energy, and if it means going forward on 4th down, he'll do whatever it needs to be done.
Tight line splits. Stewart again. Didn't make it. Jamie Collins got in there. So the Panthers lose the ball on downs. Patriots on offense when we come back to Bank of America Stadium in just a second. No score, the early infighting in this game. Neither team with a first down yet. Keys to the game brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery. Mike Rucker for the Patriots. They're going to need to develop a little depth.
Yes, and I think sometime in this game you're going to see Jimmy Garoppolo. We know Tom Brady's situation. How is he going to act in this game? And then for the Carolina Panthers, it's being sharp, starting fast, which they still have time to do, but they got to start faster.
Brady under duress, engulfed at the 31. Coney Ely.
I tell you what, when you look at his first series, unfortunately, Frank Alexander got hurt the same play that he got a sack against the Dolphins, but you see Coney Ely starting off the game again with another sack. Now, again, he has learned from his mistake. Buffalo ran the same kind of play. He did a great job of not biting on the play-action fake and getting the sack.
Benefited, too, from some Shaq Thompson pressure from the front side of Brady. 8-yard loss on the sack. New England off schedule. Brady sets up, pats the ball, and flings it out of bounds right left. That gave you the keys a moment ago. They're brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery. Remember, it's always Buck season with Buck Scratch-Off. Favorite Bucks tickets with a new look and more than $100 million in total prize.
Well, this Panther defense has already started off hot. They've got a sack, they've got a pressure. And this is where a defense really pins their ear back when you got 3rd and long.
Bolden the lone setback. Third and 18. Panthers rush 4. Brady flushed. Stopped 9 yards short of the first down. Luke Kuechly spied him the entire way.
Well, that was a total defense. You had pressure up front with the defensive line, and then you had a coverage back there that did great. And then Luke Kuechly just spying in the middle of the field that was able to come up, force the punt.
Ted Ginn Jr. Good punt return the last time he handled one. I told you, pressure by the front 4 against a 5-man blocking surface. Another good sign. No flag as Allen was hit down. Ginn in traffic. Safely catches it at the 16. Let's take a break. No score. Patriots. We got a little bit extracurricular activity on this field, and we'll sort it all out for you next after this word from your local Panther station. Early first quarter, we're scoreless, down to Jordan Gross, our sideline reporter.
Well, thanks, Mick. Offensive line coach John Matsko spending every free moment he had on the sidelines with that defensive series, talking to his O-line, particularly about the run game. Not too happy with the 3 attempts for 4 yards thus far. I'd like to see them take another shot at getting the ground game going this drive, guys.
What was Matsko like to play for, Jordan?
He was a great coach. He did not give you anything less than his best, and he demanded the same in return. A fair coach, definitely loved his players, but definitely got the best out of you.
Tolbert and Stewart. About a quarter ton of running back fun. Cam Newton hangs in the pocket for a long time, waits for Brown to break open, does so, but can't bring it in at the 35. Terrell Brown defending.
Well, it's great pass protection, but Brown, number 16, Corey Brown, was Cam's third look on that one and was just a little slow on the delivery, and that defensive player got his hand in there and knocked the ball away.
So that's not one they're mad at Corey Brown for not catching.
Well, you see Cam come to the backside, so obviously he wasn't his first read, and that gave the defenders time to get his hand in there.
On 2nd and 10, Newton throwing short of Olsen left wing, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and 10.
You know, it just seems like this offense is out of sync. You know, again, the offensive line is giving you time to throw, and Cam throws this ball at Greg Olsen's ankle. You have to get that ball up, and he's not happy about it. He knows it right out as soon as the ball leaves his hand that he needs to get that ball up.
Probably would have been a modest gain. Still, you want to hook up when you've got a receiver like Olsen open, at least give him a chance. So on 3rd down and 10, Newton wild hide again, and then Newton is belted right after he released it.
And part of the reason when you can't run the ball and you have to go throw the ball, the defense will know and they'll start bringing heat. When you see the defense blitzing like this, now all of a sudden Cam is getting hit. But if you can run the ball, it takes the pressure off of your offense when the team blitzes like that.
So no first downs yet. Harper back deep. Decent punt. Fair catch requested and made at the 43. Beautiful night here at Bank of America Stadium. Panthers back to some defensive work with the score. New England nothing and Carolina nothing. Carolina and New England scoreless. In fact, neither team has yet a first down. Our Belt Player Watch tonight focuses on Shaq Thompson, a player, Mike Rucker, the Panthers expect to be very productive on the ball.
I like his versatility. I mean, last week against the Dolphins, you saw him make some big plays in the run game in the open field, but you also saw him run downfield with the tight end. So he has the speed and the size to do both.
Running formation, running personnel grouping, ends both in tight and a fullback in the game. Jonas Gray on, just tsunami by the white jerseys behind the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to run. Cole, the first man to bear hugging.
Well, you know that this Patriots offense knows that the defensive line is banged up, and they're going to try them and test them. Carolina Panthers defensive line has stepped up. Big Cole stops right there, and then the rest of the game comes in to finish them off. But the New England Patriots are going to try the interior defensive line tonight.
Saw Peanut Tillman come flying in there, the 31.
Yeah, he can cover, and he'll stick his nose in there. And that's why they call him Peanut Tillman, because he'll stick his nose in there and he'll knock the ball out too.
2nd down and 10.5. Sends Brady to the gun. Bolden to his right. Snaps off the throw right wing, and it is complete to midfield. Michael Ho'omanawanui. Tackled by Horton, I believe. 6-yard gain.
Again, this defense playing field position at midfield has another opportunity to get off the field right here on 3rd down. Coach McDermott likes for his front four to get after the quarterback so he doesn't have to pressure. We'll see if this defensive line can get the pressure.
Motion from left to right. 3rd down and 4. Brady shuffles up and runs for it. Charles Tillman got the shoulder into him, but that is a 9-yard gain in our first down of the ball game.
Well, you see Addison right here. He's a speed rusher, does a great job of flushing Brady out, but the defensive tackles have to have contained in that pocket. You cannot let Brady, who's not known to be a big-time fast runner, get out of the pocket to get the first down.
Pats, good field position. Both possessions, their 40 and then their 44. And they pushed across midfield. Brady bobbled, and then Dobson couldn't catch it. Peanuts got it. Tillman weaving. And smashed out of bounds in front of the Panther bench. Unbelievable play.
They call him Peanut Tillman, but Charles Tillman has been known to do these kind of things.
What a play by Charles Tillman. Took it away from Dobson. Back with after this word from your local Panther station. That's Ron Rivera, and he's staring up at the video screens, trying to see what was just a circus play. Here's Dobson. He goes up for it. It's a catch right now, and is he down by contact right now, Mike Rooker, before Charles Tillman does the alligator roll and takes it away from him?
Well, we're looking at it in slow motion. You know, Clete Blackman, the head referee, is going to look at it in regular time to see if that ball is moving. In slow motion, it looks like he's going to be down by contact. But when he look at it in real time, is that ball still moving? That's what he's going to be looking at. But it looks like he was down by contact.
Still an unbelievable play by Charles Tillman. What gives some guys just that knack of being ball hawks? Here's the referee. No, I thought we saw Clete Blackman, but not yet. So why are some guys able to be around the ball so much?
Because a guy like Charles Tillman, he thinks about the ball. So when he's either trying to, maybe he gets beat on a pass, but he's thinking about punching that ball out. On this interception right here, this catch, he's thinking about pulling that ball out. And I think that's what brings value to this team in the secondary when you have a guy like him that is always thinking about getting the ball out, turnovers.
So it's going to be big. Whatever Clete Blackman tells us, one team's going to be unhappy.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. First down.
A 37-yard interception return, Charles Peanut Tillman.
Well, the thing is, when you talk about football, you play to the end of the play, and that's what Charles Tillman did. He got beat to the inside, but that wasn't the end of it. He wrestled that ball away. Panthers ball.
Trips right. Newton gets some air in his lungs. Middle first quarter, scoreless. Wider line splits. Newton to throw. Say again. First down to the Patriot 45-yard line. Let's go to Jordan Gross. Jordan, could you see that last play from your vantage point?
I saw it just kind of like the replay showed it, Mick. I thought there's no way you can turn that call over based on the information. Now, if they would have called it a completion on the field, I think it would have stayed as a completion. So fortunately for the Panthers, that went their way.
Cam Newton and Greg Olsen go together like red beans and rice. And Duron Harmon hit Olsen down. 4 yards, Panthers will take it.
You see Coach Shula trying to up the tempo. You see them going no huddle, hurry up. Here you get it to Greg Olsen, your steady tight end, but you see the fast play by the Panther offense.
On 2nd and 6. Same combination again. Close to first down yardage. And it is a first down.
I like them picking up the tempo. You try to run the ball, it didn't work. You try to throw the ball, it wasn't working quite good. Now you have this hurry up, no huddle, and now you're moving the ball.
Patriots flinch. And Orr pulls up. Chandler Jones a little twitchy.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And you'll see the right defensive end switch right there. Orr did a great job of going ahead and moving and being able to get the flag. If he doesn't move, the play continues. But since he moved, they get the free 5 yards.
You played that position, so your mechanic is try to see the ball out of your peripheral vision.
Absolutely. You're trying to gauge that tempo and trying to get that jump on the ball.
Right side crowded. Stewart back to the near side. Good decision. Splashes down at the 19. 11 yards and a first down.
I think you're seeing this spark starting to happen. And in the run game, Jonathan Stewart just cuts all the way back Great block by Corey Brown right there, sealing that receiver that allows Jonathan Stewart to get some extra running yards.
Scott Simonson, number 80, the tight end, also getting a piece, helping to seal that edge. This more like the kind of drive that the Panthers envision. Newton, after a fake or two, has an open man right side. Cotchery's out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
This is a nice play-action play. They fake the run right there, get the DBs to sit down, but then there's a nice little pick play out here that allows Cotchery to slide up the sideline.
You'll want to stay tuned at halftime. Unbelievable feature on Jericho Cotchery at the break. Chuck Howard will be your master of ceremonies. First and goal. Stewart with Tolbert leading the way. Pummeled after a short gain by Jabal Sheard. Here's our CPI security system red zone. Not too bad for the Carolina Panther offense in the preseason.
No, these are some good stats. You can live with this, and obviously down the red zone, you can have another opportunity to try to punch this ball in here on second down.
Newton retreats. Threw into double coverage, but got away with it. The ball seemed like it was in the air forever before it got to Greg Olsen. Or Scott Simonson, I should say, number 80.
Again, Cam Newton has a pocket to throw. He's getting some pressure from his right side. And that shows you his arm strength, because he didn't have full follow through there, but he's able to get that ball to his tight end with the defensive guy hanging on his arm.
Kind of looked better on replay than it did to our naked eye. It looked like it was going to be intercepted, but I think Newton knew just where he wanted to put the ball. Third and goal. Like two receivers almost kind of ran into the same little area. So the field goal unit will come on.
Again, you have the tight end working on the out route, Greg Olsen right there. Usually you don't have two guys in the same position. Usually somebody's crossing. When somebody goes out, somebody's supposed to come in. So you wonder if there was some miscommunication on those routes.
This will be a 20-yard field goal for Graham Gano. Hooked it, but slipped it through there. Well, Cam Newton and the Panther offense not deliriously happy. They wanted 7, they got 3. 3-0 Panthers from Bank of America Stadium. Stay tuned. It's 3-0 home team, and here's a look at our Belk scoring drive. This is how the Panthers got it done. Set up by the Charles Tillman, interception return, 9 plays, 54 yards. Gano from 20 yards out, and the Panthers wanted to get 7 there.
They did, but you know what? They did get some movement. They did get 9 plays. They did move the ball, even though it ended in a field goal. That's better than the first 2 series where they ended in 3 and out. So they're getting some momentum going.
Deion Lewis, but Gano thumps it right over his head and well out of bounds. Charles Tillman, a sweet tweet topic. Charles Tillman just put this Panthers game onto SportsCenter, says Daryl Lockhart. Remember, after every Panther win, you win. On the Monday following each Panther victory, you get a dozen original glazed for just $3.99 at Krispy Kreme. Let's go down to Jordan Gross. You feel the momentum starting to swing a bit toward the Panthers. Jordan with the Charles Tillman pick.
Yeah, exactly right. You get Tillman back from injury who missed last week with an injury, gets that interception. Offense takes the field. Cam Newton does a great job passing the ball down the field, but one play that I love, an 11-yard run by Jonathan Stewart. Get that ground game going. Let's get some more of that going on the next drives, guys.
Zone stretch left side, Gray. Pretty tough sledding. The white jerseys broke contact and got off of people and feathered that one out. Dewan Edwards on the stop.
This defensive line just stretches this stretch play to the sideline. Big Dewan Edwards right there, getting off his block to make that tackle. You know your defense is heading in the right direction when you have your big defensive tackles running sideline to sideline.
Edwards is a smart player. He and Cole both double-digit years in the league. His front four has been salty tonight. New England off of left tackle. B-gap play in between the guard and the tackle for 9 yards and a first down rushing. Good run by Bolden.
There's a little trap play. They trap Colin Cole right there, number 91. It allows that 9-yard run right there.
Defender allowed to penetrate, and then he's blocked from the side. The trap play. Brady intercepted. Picked off near the 40-yard line by Coleman. The second interception, the penalty flag flies in late. The second time Brady's been picked in the first quarter.
I'll tell you what, this defense is ball hawking, especially this secondary. Kurt Coleman reads it all the way. You see Kurt Coleman stick his cleats in the ground and drive on that ball. He didn't wait for that ball to come to him and gets the interception.
All over New England they're tweeting, and the tweets are not very sweet because the Panther defense has been a handful.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness against the defense number 59 for a late hit on the pile. It's 15 yards from the end of the run. First down, Carolina.
You know, when you hear a coach talk about Kurt Coleman, they have a lot of praise in what he's bringing to this football club. And you saw it right there. Obviously, you saw Charles Tillman with the interception. Now you see Kurt Coleman with the interception. This is all part of the game and field position. Now you're giving the ball back to your offense.
Coleman densely muscled, and he is a skull crusher. Good on special teams as well. Corey Brown in motion. Newton, straight drop, short drop, and a wide open receiver couldn't hang on. Greg Olsen almost never drops those.
Yes, you won't see that very often. Usually when that ball touches number 88, Greg Olsen's hands, it usually goes and he squeezes that in. Cam launches this, he goes right at Greg Olsen. The whole time he knew where he wanted to go with it. And it just came out of Greg. He's definitely upset about that one.
Not an excuse. I mean, Olsen will catch that most of the time.
He'll catch 9.5 of those out of 10 every time.
Newton does throw a heavy ball. Again on the slant, right side broken up, and the Panthers don't want to squander the second first quarter interception of Tom Brady.
Well, the defense gets paid too, and they've got some good corners out there. You can just see Ted Ginn Jr. run that inside route, and the corner just gets his hand. It's just a good defensive play.
Panthers 0 of 3 on third down conversions tonight. Newton maybe changing things up as Stewart motion back into the backfield. Twist on arm picked up. Out cut to the right, incomplete, no flag.
That's number 16, Corey Brown. He just slips coming back to the ball. It slips bad and just the timing's off, and the ball goes incomplete. I think that you're going to see Cam Newton trying to build more chemistry with these receiving cores now that he doesn't have Kelvin Benjamin. Devin Funchess is not on the field. So some of these receivers are going to have to step up and build this continuity with their quarterback.
Amendola, the fair catch in front of the on-rushing Todman. 38-yard punt and no return. Is he happy? I think Cam Newton is. And some good things done by the Panther defense so far, including the big play of the game so far was Charles Tillman's 37-yard interception return, and Jordan Groves had a great look at it from his sideline vantage point.
That's right, Mick. I did have a great look at that interception, but I even better look at Charles Tillman, who's now out of the game. He's down here actually throwing up on the sidelines. He got oxygen after that interception. I think he might have a little bug inside of him. So Tillman, right now, we're going to call him questionable because he's not looking too good.
Tried not to get a shot of that. Arthur Miley helping to end the run play, but Jonas Gray, well, there is a shot of it. Charles Tillman.
Yeah, not feeling too good, and that happens. And sometimes in this game, when you're so valuable, you got to work. You got to come to work sick sometimes. And Charles Tillman has had a good ball game up to this point.
2nd and 2 with the Panthers up 3. Gray lost yardage. Luke Kuechly assisted him to the ground.
When you talk about when you have 4 or 5 guys on the ball playing in the offensive backfield, you see the pressure there. 3 jerseys right there to make the tackle for a loss. That's what you call a swarming defense right there, led by the team leader, Luke Kuechly.
Started with the Roman Harper safety blitz and then help arrive. After 8 yards on first down, now New England's looking at 3rd down and 3 as the first quarter is
New England takes its first timeout.
almost over, but
this
not
will be
quite.
30-second timeout.
30-second timeout, New England, and we will keep it right here.
It was interesting, you know, in the first quarter with 8 seconds that you burn a timeout. So wonder if Tom Brady lost track of the clock.
Could easily have. New England opens at home against Pittsburgh. Panthers open on the road at Jacksonville. One more preseason game for each club. And Coach Ron Rivera, with the regular season approaching, thinks tonight is a very important ball game.
I'm excited about that fact that we've had that extra couple of practices with Miami. Now we've got this 3rd preseason game. That, you know, we're going to carry our starters a little bit longer than normal than we have in the first 2 preseason games. Obviously, we want to see them come out in the 3rd quarter, see how they handle coming out after a halftime, see how they handle the adjustments that we make, and you know we'll get a good chance to look at them, and then we'll try to get all our young guys in again.
Bolden on the toss sweep near. Forget it. Dwan Edwards and others. And the defense is aroused.
This is the end of the first quarter.
First quarter's over. New England to punt when we come right back to Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte with the Panthers up by 3 points. Panthers are playing well defensively. That's reflected in our first quarter stats, brought to you by Bank of America. What stands out, Ruck?
No, the score, 3-0, but the turnovers. The turnovers, the numbers are the same, but the turnovers are the difference in this ball game.
Left-footed punt will spin counterclockwise. Ted Ginn has to account for that, and he does. Reversing his field, looking for a block or two. To the 30.5. 53-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. Take a quick look at our Bud Light scoreboard. Bud Light presents Around the NFL. Here's what we're looking at. KC up early against Tennessee. No score, Detroit and Jacksonville. As we told you earlier, the Panthers with Coach Rivera at the controls open at Jacksonville early September. New England did not fall for any of the Cam Newton sleight of hand. A 4-yard loss courtesy of Dominic Easley, first-round draft choice 2014 from the University of Florida. He's a good one.
Yeah, they had a lot of penetration on that last play. For the Panthers offense, you got to want to try to get that running game going, and this offensive line have done a great job in the past, but still has work to do in the run.
2 tight ends in the game, and there's one of them for a first down out to midfield, the incomparable Greg Olsen.
You know, Greg Olsen right here, we talked about him being sure-handed. He catches this ball right here, is able to move the sticks. Again, we talked about the offensive line, given the time, Cam Newton the time to be able to throw the ball down the field. When you see the ball launched down the field, that means your offensive line is doing a great job and giving you the time for those routes to develop.
23 yards, Newton to Olsen, and this O-line, the Panther O-line's ability to pass block has been a story in the preseason. Linebacker blitz, but it's a toss sweep away from the blitz. Bradley Fletcher crowns Jonathan Stewart 1-yard gain.
And Jonathan Stewart's the type of guy that you might take a loss, he might get 1 yard, but as the game goes on, he gets stronger. And then he starts wearing you down. He starts breaking those long runs in the third, fourth quarter. So we'll see if they can continue to try to get Jonathan Stewart going.
A robust runner, Jonathan Stewart. One of the better screen game receivers, too. D'Angelo Williams was also good at that. Flanker right, split end left on 2nd and 9. Glazer caught Olsen, cuts toward the middle, and twisted down. Another first down. Newton to Olsen. With a penalty marker down.
Hands to the face, offense number 73. It's a 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Michael Orr, the left tackle, got his hands up into somebody's grill.
Well, you see left tackle, left of your screen right here, Michael Orr, very patient, but when he gets his hands up there just a little high on the face mask, that brings this pass back.
And he was probably guilty.
Yeah, he was guilty on that. It didn't look like it was intentional. He was very patient, was in good position. He brings that left hand down and sticks it right in the chest. He's good to go on that.
And that probably would have been all that was required because he was in good shape.
Yes, he was in good shape. He was in good position body-wise. He just needed to bring that left arm down and get it on the numbers.
Tolbert, hands on his knee pads, back arched. Hard to see him because Cam Newton is so big. Oh, there's Cotchery in a crowd close to the first down. 19 yards, Newton to Cotchery.
And this is a tight window that Cam Newton threads this ball into Cotchery, number 82 right there. Again, great pass protection, great route by Cotchery.
Now it's 3rd and a yard. Cameron Artis-Payne checks in.
But that allows you, that play. Now, as the season goes on, you have plays that can get big chunks. Now this gives you 3rd and manageable, and you can get this first down.
Everybody all bunched up in there. Newton to sneak for it, has it with ease. And he lets the Patriots know that it is a first down, Carolina Panthers. To Jordan Gross on the sideline. What are you looking at, JG?
Brian Folkerts, a couple plays ago, he pulled out to the left in front of Jonathan Stewart, started limping at the end of that play, and I'm keeping my eye on him. I think he got a little bit dinged up, maybe a knee or ankle, but showing his toughness, staying in there, and even leading the charge right there on that big quarterback sneak for the first down, guys.
Yeah, fighting through it. Bunch trips right, a high snap. Newton handles it. Flag from behind the play. The start to that play looked like the backside of a mud fence.
Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
All kind of problems.
Now this is something that you don't want to do, is continue to get yourself in 1st and long, with penalties like this. But you wonder, Jordan Gross just talked about Folkert's ankle right there. He was guilty party with the holding call. Wonder if he's having trouble moving his bottom half and using his hands and got caught with the reach.
Ozzie Whitaker in. Newton, that hospital ball again, that seems to be his default bad throw, too high. Bradley Fletcher covering Ted Ginn.
Again, sometimes Cam's ball will sail on him, and this one kind of sails, goes right through Ted Ginn Jr.'s hands. And it looked like Ted could have maybe squeezed that and might have been able to bring that one down.
Second and 20. Newton yanked down easily.
Well, the Patriots bring the blitz. Great blitz pickup right there by Ozzie Whitaker right there, taking his guy to the ground. but they bring that blitz right up the middle, right into Cam's face for the sack.
Like Folkerts was victimized on that one. Still, Newton had a beat and a half that he could have thrown that ball, so part of that may be on him. Third and very long. Newton wanted to go up top, but it was not there. Instead, Olsen for short yardage. And the drive that had so much promise fizzles out.
And that was a smart buy, Cam. I mean, if this was regular season, he had some field to maybe run. He might have not got that first down, but he took care of the ball. They're punting. Sometimes punting the ball is not a bad deal.
Very high punt. Harper waits late, signals for a fair catch, and he's got it. 3-0 Carolina Panthers. Uptown Charlotte is hopping, alive with the excitement of Panther football. Now this word from your local Panther Stadium. Brian Folkerts just now putting his right shoe on. You see head athletic trainer Ryan Vermillion, who was working Folkerts' ankle, and here's a look at what happened. Jordan Gross pointed this out a few plays ago. And then 2 plays later, Folkerts may be still not quite with his base, gives up a sack. 3-0 Carolina. Middle second quarter, worst starting field position tonight for New England. So they'll try to run it out of there with Bolden. And he got popped by Boston. Could you tell Jordan Gross that Folkerts was not the same guy after the ankle twist?
A lot of ankle injuries, Mick, in my career. It's tough to shake those off right off the bat, and you're always a little bit slower, maybe a little bit more off balance. And I saw it a little bit in Folkerts, but he's down here getting that ankle spatted up, the tape on the outside of the cleat. He'll be back in the game, guys.
Don't want to lose that depth with Khalil hurt. Brady, short and right, complete to Reggie Wayne. Signed at age 36. Had just an elegant career with Indianapolis, and Reggie Wayne could not make the grab.
And he's the old wily veteran. He's made that catch a million times. And he's had the pads on this past week as they just recently picked him up.
New England 104 on third downs against this Panther defense. Defense has been stellar tonight. Brady, plenty of time on the play clock. Little slice, nothing doing. Bolden racked up by Keekley.
And I tell you what, as a defense, that's a notch that you love to have. When you got third long, you got Tom Brady in the backfield, and they go for a draw. They know that they can't get the ball down the field, so they just say, hey, we're going to punt this ball. We're going to give you this down.
That's Demir Bird. Ariel, New Jersey, University of South Carolina product, and he is a jet. Low driving punt. Bird, near side. Now up the numbers for a couple. Got all he could. How about Luke Kuechly? Luke August Kuechly playing some tackle football in preseason. Game number 3. Panthers winning the stats, up 3-0 on the scoreboard, and a sweet tweet has poured in. Tom Brady is out of Luke, and that is a reference to the Pepsi commercial where Luke has some nicknames. Patriots blitz, Newton in trouble, flag down, so is Cam. Maybe 2 penalties on the play. There is a flag. Far sideline at the 41. So Clete Blakeman wants a minute or 2. Krispy Kreme sweet tweets brought to you by Krispy Kreme. When the Panthers win, you win. The Monday following every Panther victory, you get a dozen original glaze for just $3.99.
Fouls against both teams on the play. Holding offense, number 64. Illegal contact, defense, number 21. Those penalties offset will replay first down.
Here's the illegal contact.
Yeah, you see Corey Brown, number 16 right there. See the illegal contact. That's easy for the referee to call that one. Panthers caught a break right here, being able to repeat first down.
Big break as Newton was taken down for a big loss on the play. Tight end trade, Simonson from near to far. Cameron Artis-Payne rumbling, bucking, mad at it, and decent yardage.
This Panthers offense switching gears right here. This offensive line gives Artis-Payne a great alley. He's patient. He sets this block up and lets Folkerts get out in front of him to get his block, and then he goes downhill and hits the hole.
That's a great call. They want Artis-Payne to press the hole and then not cut. Don't go too early. Give the blockers a chance to do their job. That was a great example.
Some of the best running backs are patient. You know, Barry Sanders is one of the best ones that would just let them play, let the big guys develop, and then he would hit that hole.
Up the middle on second down. Tolbert, second effort, third effort. Toppled Olsen and got the first down.
Yeah, the fullback doesn't get the ball a lot, but when Mike Tolbert gets it, he keeps his feet going, never stops him. Is able to plunge forward for the first down. As a fullback, you don't get the ball often, but when you do, you got to take advantage of it.
Scary the way Olsen went down. Some friendly fire almost got him. Second quarter. 6 minutes remaining in it. Artis-Payne kind of nonchalanted a little bit into the line there. I mean, he was waiting for something to develop. Silver Silinga made the tackle. Pace of things has slowed down, it feels. Line unbalanced to the near side. Newton just took what was available to him. Morris tackling Olsen. So that doesn't quite move the chains. It'll be third down and short.
But Greg Olsen, you see them doing the hurry up right here, but Greg Olsen is that safety valve, and Cam always knows where he's at, so if he's not the primary, he knows he can dump it off and get it to the big guy.
5-yard gain, third down and 2. Artis-Payne out, Fozzie Whitaker in. One safety out of your screen, very deep, just playing some center field. That's Cotchery, and he held on, first down.
Yeah, the Panthers doing a little pick play right here. Cotchery in the slot does a great job of setting this guy down. Just enough of a rub to get that defender to build a little bit of space that Cotchery can spin around and grab that ball.
You like the ruckus trader, don't you? You just like drawing on this contraction.
I do.
4:21 to go, second quarter. Newton pumps once, got Corey Brown, and once again, Butterfingers.
You know, Corey Brown, he's definitely got some speed, and he gets behind the defender. But as a receiver, you got to catch the ball. Cam Newton puts it in a nice spot. And Corey Brown cannot hang on to it.
A couple of those last week. That one tonight, expensive, because it would have been 6. Newton's a leader, though. He will shake it off and
Carolina takes the first time out.
live to play another down. We'll step aside for a local. 3-0 Panthers. After this, from your local Panther station. Not far from where the Top Cats are top catting, there's the Carolina bench area, and on the bench area, Jericho Cotchery is being attended to. What happened to him, Mike?
Well, it looks like he's just coming off and just kind of steps wrong. It's kind of hard to tell why he's being attended by the training staff.
Second down and 10. The flags pre-snap. Maybe
Ball
Remmers.
starts. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
You know, Mick, sometimes the injuries, you know, they don't look real big, but sometimes you can just step wrong sometimes, and an old injury or something could flare up. So hopefully he's okay, because they definitely going to need him down the stretch.
Get him back in the game. I think he has checked back in, I think. Fozzie Whitaker to the right side for good yardage, 11 yards. Let's go to Chuck Howard in our studio downstairs. Chuck, what do you got planned at halftime for us?
Hey, Mick and Mike, we certainly hope Jericho Cotchery's injury is okay, but he's having a great first half. When we come back, we're going to talk about Jericho, who has no doubt made a great new family here with the Carolina Panthers, but his Panther family pales in comparison to the family that he goes home to each and every night. That story coming up at the half. Back upstairs to you guys, Mick and Mike.
Yeah, Mike Brown, 12 was in. We saw the 2, thought it might be Cotchery. He remains out. A little up and out, left side to Ted Ginn, and that would be good for first down yardage, and that is a third down conversion for Cam Newton.
Well, you see this Carolina Panthers offense working the middle of the field and working the sidelines. You see Ted Ginn Jr. right there. A lot of the defenders are scared of his speed.
Panthers in the red zone last season, not the kind of productivity they want. 27th out of 32 teams. The CPI security systems red zone look. Fozzie Whitaker got skinny in the hole and squirted for a few. Dominique easily popped him.
You know, you can see the running game starting to take pace and starting to get going. See Fozzie takes a couple steps and then goes right downfield. But watch this, how he drives the leg and grabs the extra 2 yards on top of that Patriots defense.
Love it. 6 yards rushing on first down. Now that sets up Mike Shula to call several different plays from out of the playbook. End zone broken up. Boykin, the intended receiver, Terrell Brown, was there.
Again, this is just some good Patriots defense right here. Cam sees what he knows. He's got the defense that he wants. Maybe if he throws out just a little bit further, Brown can get his hands on it, but just a little bit back allows that defender to get his hand up in there. Great play by Brown in this defense.
11th play of a drive. This current drive 40 yards long. Newton scanning. There's no real words necessary to describe that. Feel badly for that young man, Corey Brown. He's a good player.
He is. He's a good player, and you could hear the energy being sucked out of the stadium right here. Again, just right in the breadbasket. Now, the reason why he let the ball get to his body. As a receiver, you got to catch that ball with your hands, and he let that ball hit his numbers. You see Cam Newton right there bringing the young guy in and saying, look, hey, we can get this done. Don't go in the tank on me.
30-yard field goal attempt to make it 6-0. Got it. 2:13 to go until halftime. Cam Newton doing some coaching on the sideline of Corey Brown. Second Panther scoring drive ends not with the exclamation point that the Panthers wanted. Still a Graham Gano 30-yard field goal. The Belk scoring drive. 12 plays, 48 yards. Took 5.5 minutes. And here's another look, Mike, of a veteran trying to mentor a young player.
And that's exactly what a veteran should do in a leader. As a young player, when you are not having the game that you want, you need someone to come and try to keep your system going and keep your energy going. And yes, Corey Brown is upset because he's dropped some passes, but Cam Newton, the leader, saying, look, I need you. Keep your head in the game.
You know, kicks it right into the stands. Fan gets a souvenir out of that. Let's go down on the sideline. Jordan Gross played in the league a long time. What emotions does Corey Brown's struggles bring up for you right now, Jordan?
Well, it doesn't matter the position you play. There's always some type of slump you can get into. For me, it was maybe a penalty or getting beat on a certain pass rush move. For Corey Brown right now, it's drop passes. But the thing I love about this Panthers team is the love he's getting on the bench from his players, from his coaches. Ron Rivera gave him a big pep talk. Everybody's still coming over to him, continuing to just say, hey, man, keep your head up. We believe in you. Let's get this done, guys.
Trying to bridge negatives to positives. That's what the good teams do. Brady, backside pressure coming. He shucks it and then fires midfield right in front of Trey Boston. Scott Chandler made the catch for a Patriots first down. We are at the 2-minute warning. Stay tuned. Back with more Panther football next after a word from your local Panthers station. We come back with a Krispy Kreme sweet tweet. Coleman and Tillman were definitely sweet additions this offseason. Queen City equals turnover city from Chad Winstead. Both have a pick tonight. When the Panthers win, you win. Dozen original glaze, $3.99 every Monday after Sunday Panther victories. Tom Brady only 3 pass completions tonight, 3 of 8. Make him 4 of 9. Found Chandler right side.
You see Tom Brady, he's one of the best in the business. Just a pitch and catch with his tight end. Luke Kuechly draped all over him.
Looked like Kuechly got up limping. Looked like Harper near side on the square out. He hugged it for a first down. Kuechly will come out.
And that's one thing you do not want to see him on the sideline limping. So hopefully that's just a temporary thing right there.
Under 2 minutes, second quarter. Receivers left and right. Empty set. And the Brady fastball incomplete of Bolden. Let's take a look at the play where Kuechly got a little shaken up.
Well, you see him just running to the sideline. It looked like
Firing pass, holding, defense, number 24. It's a 5-yard penalty and automatic first down.
As he is going to the sideline, he's dragging his left foot. But he's back out there, the tough guy that he is, and it's good to see him back there on the field. Sometimes you get shaken up for a play and you can walk that stuff off.
Had a penalty after the play, during the play, holding defense Josh Norman. So that additional yardage sets New England up. First down and 10 in Panther territory to 47. And as we reported, Kuechly back in. 8 on the play clock, Brady in the gun. Bolden. For about 4. Ben Wickery on the stop. Luke Kuechly got his degree last summer from Boston College. Business communications and marketing. Brady sets up and has a man at the 20-yard line inside the 20. Danny Amendola. Amendola's been quiet in the preseason, but he shook free there.
Nice touch by Brady. He catches this Panther defense in a fire zone.
Brady's pass batted down by Edwards. That stops the clock, 56 seconds, second period.
And you're seeing this defensive line shift out, keeping everybody fresh. Sometimes they'll go little and allow themselves to get some speed on the field.
CPI Security Systems, red zone offense. This is New England last year, pretty good. Almost 60% touchdowns, 9th best in pro football. Second and 10. Brady, the rainbow archer again. Chandler got it. Touchdown. From 18 yards away, Thomas Davis, the nearest Panther, took.
You know, Tom Brady, he's good. And he just puts this ball in the right spot Thomas Davis has got the arm in there and has the reach, but Tom Brady just puts it just a little bit outside. And what a great catch by Chandler.
Excellent execution by the New England offense.
That was good positioning. I mean, when you have a quarterback of that caliber putting the ball in the right spot like that, that's a tough one to win.
Gostkowski, 411 consecutive extra points, second most in NFL history. He'll try from farther away this year, but he puts that one through the pipes, and New England is up 7-6. Here's the Belk scoring drive. Here's how the Patriots did it. Just kind of churned on down the field.
They did, they kind of dinked and dunked, and then, they had that big play a couple plays ago down the middle that really moved the field over. And then they had Tom Brady and Chandler hooking up for the touchdown.
Chandler out of Iowa, 8th-year man. Coming up at halftime, we sent a crew to New Jersey to talk with Jericho Cotchery and his wife, Mercedes, and the story is just, it's beyond touching. You'll want to see it at halftime, the change of heart that occurred in Jericho Cotchery to adopt children.
Able to take a peek at it before the game, and I tell you what, hold your seat for halftime. Just hold on, getting something to drink, and make sure you watch this because this really touches your heart. And he's had a pretty good day today, 4 for 4. It's not bad.
Got NC State pedigree. Kickoff, returnable. Whitaker to the 36. Excellent job. Took it from 1 yard deep in the end zone, 37 on the return. Fozzie Whitaker's not scared.
Well, you like the courage of him to catch that ball on a run, and there's no shaking and baking. It's right downhill. Great blocking by his teammates just to get that ball out to the 35.
Tracking a couple other games tonight. Ruck on the Bud Light scoreboard. Kansas City looking good. They might be good this year. Second quarter up. And then Jacksonville, 14-0 over Detroit in the second. 43 seconds to go. How aggressively do you call this, Mike?
Well, I think you might get aggressive with this first one, which didn't go very well right there. You got 30-something seconds left on the clock. The clock is running. You still want to get some plays off so you can look at them on film with the 2-minute drill that you're trying to run here.
Pocket had some structure to it early in the play, but then New England just pressed it and got Cam Newton down a sack.
Got a lot of speed at receiver. They might just be okay with taking this one in at halftime.
May not be another play run, and there won't be. Newton will be the first to get to the halftime locker room. Chuck Howard's got a halftime feature for you will not want to miss, as 2 quarters are in the books from Bank of America Stadium with the interval score, Pat 7, Carolina 6.
Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Bud Light. Stay in the game and drink responsibly. By Touchstone Energy, North Carolina's Touchstone Energy Cooperative, powering the lives of 2.5 million North Carolinians. And by Subway. Eat fresh. Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh. By Miller Lite. As long as you are you, it's Miller time. And by Bojangles, your official tailgating headquarters of the Carolina Panthers. It's Bo time.
Bright lights. City of Charlotte lit up with preseason football game number 3. Patriots at the Carolina Panthers. It is New England 7 and Carolina 6 at the break. Mick Mixon, Mike Rucker at your service. Jordan Gross on the sideline. What do you think of the first half, Ruck? Particularly pretty aroused Carolina Panther defense that was on display.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the defense. They really started out fast with not only pressure, but they got a couple of turnovers. They got the ball back to their offense. So definitely if this defense could come back out, that's going to keep you in a lot of ball games playing that kind of deep.
Those turnovers started with the Peanut Tillman interception, the Peanut pick. How'd this look to you, Mike?
I loved it. This play was reviewed. It looked like it might have been a catch. But Peanut Tillman stays and keeps that hand in there and finishes out this play for the interception. Then Coleman comes right back with another interception. Right down the middle. Nice play by this defense. The D-line says, hey, let me get some of this action too. Coney Ely right there. Big Cole stopping that run, and the defense stretches out. Not one white jersey, but all the jerseys are coming to the party. But before the half, Tom Brady sneaks this pass into Chandler for the touchdown.
Only 3 points off the 2 Carolina Panther turnovers. The stats are brought to you by Bank of America. Total yards about a wash. Slight play advantage to the Panthers. What else stands out?
Well, I think the big turnovers right now are the biggest thing that's going to be different between these two teams. They're pretty even, but this defense, if they can continue to play, get some more turnovers, I think that score could come up on the Panther side.
Starters scheduled to play some in the third quarter. What do you think coach's message will be in the halftime locker room?
They got to come out fast on both sides of the ball. He wants to see how you go in at halftime and how are you going to react coming out of halftime. Can we start off fast? You want to have a good taste going into your 4th preseason game.
All right, here we go. The second half kickoff, and we are underway in the third quarter. It'll be a touchback. Some injury updates in the first half. We were tracking a couple of different Panthers. Jordan Gross has the latest from down on the sideline. Jordan.
Nick, I just got the word. Charles Tillman was actually being looked at for a head injury. And when you see that nausea, you see him having trouble breathing a little bit. You wonder if it's a concussion type symptom. Also, Jericho Cotchery had a groin. He's going to be out for the rest of the game. So those 2 veterans taking the rest of the night off, guys.
Folkerts and Keekly as well. So a couple of Panthers shaking up. Nothing, I don't think, to worry about with Luke Kuechly because he was out one play and then came back in. High backs and Newton. Play action pass. Whips it near side grab for a first down. Ted Ginn Jr. 13 yards.
You come out at halftime with your first play and you're slinging it on the play action. You're getting the ball, you're getting that movement, and you're trying to find some consistency coming out of halftime.
So a play action pass, a pass after you faked a run. What does that do to the defense?
Well, it's going to hold them linebackers. You want to suck those linebackers up and just hold them for a split second. That could mean the difference of catching the ball or the pass defender getting his hand in there.
Newton out of the pistol. Has Burson. Flag down in the offensive backfield. And then Burson put down at the 40 of the Patriots, 27 yards, but the penalty. Wait a second.
Well, the O-line's walking down, so might be favorable.
Illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Defense number 96. That penalty's declined. Yardage is enough for a first down.
Take a look at the infraction.
Sometimes you need a little luck to go your way. And you get this big penalty off this big catch. Burson has a nice catch and gets up the field for some extra yards. Part of being a quarterback is you got to have receivers give you confidence also. And so these first couple plays, the receivers are definitely doing their job in catching the ball and moving the sticks.
After that hookup, Panthers in good shape. Patriot 40, Fozzie Whitaker in. And it's Fozzie Whitaker. Penalty flags fly again, this time from the defensive secondary forward. Whitaker tripped up by McClain just before he could get to the edge near side. The referee, Cleet Blakeman, tonight. Here he is.
Illegal use of hands, hands to the face. Defense number 22. It's a 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
What do you think was in the memo, the officiating memo that went out this week? Maybe be careful and watch for the illegal hands to the face. They're your first half possessions. 2 decent drives, but no touchdowns yet.
Yes, and they still have an opportunity right here coming out of halftime to maybe punch this ball in. You like to go in this game, at least with your first team getting a touchdown.
It's Cameron Artis-Payne. Rugged rookie back, but the hole closed on him quickly.
see the New England Patriots defensive end right here, knocking off two of the guys and getting penetration. Whenever you get penetration, it's always going to make it difficult for the running back to get positive yards.
Patriots ran a 3-4 for forever. Mike Patricia, the defensive coordinator. New England more of a 4-3 pace this year. Newton popped after he threw it. It is a completed catch, but then the Patriots wrestle it away as the receiver was going to the ground. I think this will stand as a completion just short of the first down. Olsen on the receiving end.
Well, you see Greg Olsen, and he is always going to be the safety valve. But you know, when you think about Greg Olsen, I think about Tony Gonzalez. I mean, the guy can block for you, but he is just such a great route runner. And when the ball usually goes to him, he's usually catching it.
6 catches tonight for Olsen. That one went for 8 yards. Artis Payne, first down. Slammed it right up in there and got to the 11.
The better you off that you're a balanced football team, the better you're going to be. And you got to be able to run the football in today's National Football League.
Panthers quickly get set, no huddle. Artis Payne blunted. Possibly to the 10. James Morris on the stop. Furrowed brow of Coach Ron Rivera. He's sure he'd like to see a touchdown. Things also maybe getting a little bit intense on the field. Jordan Gross on the sideline. How's it feel to you?
It feels like regular season down here, Mick. I'm actually watching Michael Orr have a little bit of a pushing contest in between the plays. Mike Tolbert doing the same thing. And our good guy, Luke Kuechly, even got a personal foul and necessary roughness in the first half.
Ozzie Whitaker's open. He's got it. His forward progress to the 2, just short of the first down, I believe. 7 yards on the throw from Newton.
Ozzie Whitaker comes blazing straight up the field. It catches this and almost gets the first down. But the New England defense swarm on him really quick. Leaves it 3rd and 1, so the Panthers can get a first down here if they don't punch it in.
Artis Payne and Mike Tolbert in the huddle with Cam Newton. And a timeout. There is a timeout. We will take one also. There you see the score, but the Carolina Panthers are knocking at the door. And I'll tell you what, Ruck, there's so much excitement with the Panthers this close to the goal line. Let's keep it right here at Bank of America Stadium.
Well, I think you're right. I think you've seen this timeout because both sides want to mull over because this is big. Not only New England working on their goal line defense, but this is key for this first team offense to be able to punch this ball in. And this is a big play. Do you go for the first down? Do you just punch it up the middle with Mike Tolbert? Or do you have Cam run this thing in behind Mike Tolbert? So you're going to have some play calling right here. They definitely want to get the first down and punch this ball in and get this touchdown and have that positive momentum coming out of the locker room.
See the graphic that was up a second ago. Newton's had a much better day throwing than the stats would suggest. 5 drop passes tonight.
And that hurts. That hurts his stats when your receivers are dropping the ball.
Simonson, good blocking young tight end in motion. And it's a touchdown throwing Newton to Mike Tolbert, the Dancing Bear.
There's a lot of happy people right now. Mike Tolbert, the big fullback, coming out of the backfield. And the thing about Mike Tolbert, not only can he block, but he can catch, and he's got good hands as a big fullback. And you know what, Mick? He can dance also.
What would you call that?
I like your dancing bear.
Tolbert is another one of those guys that will not ever have to worry about any stress-related illness.
No, and when you talk about him in the locker room, he's one of the funnier guys in the locker room, and just a tremendous asset to this team.
There you see the Dancing Bear, Mike Tolbert. Played his college ball at Coastal Carolina, doing it for the Carolina Panthers, and looking good. 13-7 Carolina. The Belk scoring drive was impressive. Cam Newton 5 for 5. Here comes Lewis out of there with it. To the 25. So there's the Belk scoring drive. 57 yards passing, Newton 5 of 5 and the touchdown. 9 plays, 80 yards, a happy Cam Newton. We'll be back with more Panther football after this word from your local Panther station. How you doing? It's Mick Mixon, Mike Rucker, and Jordan Gross from Bank of America Stadium, where tonight the Panthers lead the New England Patriots 13-7. That'll be all for Tom Brady. That's Jimmy Garoppolo, 62nd overall pick, 2014 NFL Draft. Patriots got him in round 2, and he almost throws an interception. Ben Wickery brought the end zone into focus a whisker too soon.
I tell you, the teammates are not going to let him live this one down. This should have been a pick 6. He reads the ball really well and drives the ball. But again, Ben Wickery lets the ball get to his chest and it bounces off. Great read by him. And he would still be running if he would have caught that one.
If you're scoring drops at home, so are we, or at least so is Freddie Kiger, our stat man. That was number 6 for the Panthers. And now LeGarrette Blount, you get a big taste of him when it could easily have been Panther football. Blount rumbling for 11 in the first down.
Well, that's the biggest run for Blount tonight. A little over pursuing right there, missed tackle. Shaq kind of uses the speed and overruns the play, and Blount's able to cut back for an 11-yard gain.
Several times in his pro career, LeGarrette Blount has completely hurdled, cleanly hurdled defenders. Good athlete. Kyle Love pressing the pocket, didn't quite get there. The throw goes to Michael Ho'omanawanui, and I think it'll be another Patriot first down. 10 yards with that one to move the chains.
You know, sometimes you have to capitalize on times when the ball is given to you, and if you don't, sometimes it can come back and bite you. These last 2 plays have been big chunk yards for this New England Patriots offense.
Ho'omanawanui shaken up. On first down, Garoppolo. It was intercepted again, but then Josh Norman dropped it. What in the world?
Wow. I think this week you're going to see a lot of ball drills on both sides of the coin. This is just an easy pick for Josh Norman. And it was a low ball, but it should have been caught, and he drops the ball. He drops the interception.
J-No, they call him. That's his nickname. 2nd and 10. Lewis out of the backfield. Oh, got crushed by Shaq Thompson.
This is why they drafted number 54, Shaq Thompson. Watch him in coverage, watch the speed. Gets off the block and makes a bone-crushing hit. He's just a younger version of Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly.
3rd and 7 for Garoppolo in the pad offense. 5 in the pattern. First down. Cleveland to the 42-yard line. Asante Cleveland, back up tight end.
Well, you hate that you hold this team to 3rd and 7, and then you allow in this zone blitz Cleveland just to find a little window, and he sets down for the first down.
Slot right formation. LeGarrette Blount trucking left and banged down behind the line of scrimmage. Mario Addison.
Well, Mario Addison, one of his assets is he has speed. He might not be the biggest guy, but he's a big fighter, and he strings this ball out. If he's able to hold up at the point of attack on these run plays, you'll see him get more playing time this year.
Any reason to be worried about the defensive secondary dropping 2 interceptions.
I wouldn't be worried, but I think that they're going to do a lot more ball drills because these have been 2 easy INTs that they have dropped there.
Lewis squirts through a hole as a penalty marker comes sailing through. Like a hold, but on whom? Maybe New England.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 17. It's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay second down.
Here's a penalty situation.
Well, this New England offense has got a lot of penalties, actually on both sides of the ball. Well, that's a good call. You see the push to the back. It flashed across the screen, but that was actually a good call.
Garoppolo to the gun. Second down, 22. Screen, Lewis. Klein wrapped him up, but not before about half of the necessary yardage was regained. Dion Lewis, 5'8", and shifty. 10 yards on that. Coach Ron Rivera always trying to think ahead. Coach Rivera tries to think down, distance situations, communicating with his coaches upstairs. Single high safety look on 3rd and 12. Garoppolo being chased. Out of bounds short of the first down. Bynum and Klein both on the hop. Now New England's in no man's land. They could go for this.
It looks like they're going to go for it. They're going to stay on the field here. With him running right there, this defensive line has got to be cautious that he can run the ball. He will run the ball. They're going to have to collapse this pocket and keep some pressure on him.
This is the 11th play in the Patriot drive. Started at their 25. Panthers up 6 points. Garoppolo goes short and left. And it will not be a first down. Shaq Thompson, good tackle. So the Panther offense taking over after the defense gets it for them on downs. And there you see the score from Bank of America Stadium. Our Belk player watch, Shaquille Green Thompson, hasn't been all good for him tonight, but it has been mostly good after a bit of a shaky start. We'll show some of that to you in just a second. Derek Anderson at the controls. Jordan Todman joins him in the backfield. Lucas for the first down. 20-yard gain.
Marcus Lucas was a wide receiver last year. Now he's converted to a tight end. Can run really good routes, had some good speed. Makes a good catch right there.
Got his helmet opening, turned around just in the nick of time too, didn't he? Once again, bunch trips to the near. Anderson with room and time. Brown made the catch for 5 yards. So here's Shaquille Green Thompson. Shaq Thompson, what are you seeing, Mike?
Well, it's a missed tackle right there, but he bounced back real quick by shedding the block and making the open field tackle there. Again, driving his leg and very aggressive. As a rookie, you're going to make mistakes. You might overrun some plays, but the way that you make up for it is you come back with big plays like that.
Anderson to Todman. Not as if he tripped down on his own. Right in front of Trey Flowers. Todman, Patriots know all about him because Todman played at UConn. He's from up that way. So here we go, 3rd down and 6. In Pat's territory. first down, Carolina Panthers. $17 yards.
Well, Derek Anderson, the gunslinger, takes his time up at the line, makes sure that his line gets the blitz pickup, and just fires this down the middle to Boykins. The receiving corps is waking up, they're catching the ball, and they're moving the sticks.
Starting to call Boykins' name a lot more, too, the last few weeks.
He was a big target last week.
Artis Payne gets faked to, and then the throw, mid-range, Boykin again to the 19. Here's our Bud Light scoreboard. Let's see what's happening in the Kansas City game. Tennessee coming back to within a touchdown. Jacksonville, see Blake Bortles, and in the Jaguars opening day, they lead Detroit by 1 at halftime. A look around the league presented by our friends at Bud Light. Little wiggle motion by Lee Ward, and then the toss sweep coming his way. Artis Payne outnumbered. Jordan Richards, second-round draft choice from out of Stanford, brought him down by the waist.
Yeah, this New England Patriots defense stretched this ball to the sideline. They had good pursuit right there. They just make a good open field tackle right there. When you have that toss crack, you have to get that corner quick. Otherwise, the defenses are fast in this league, and they're just going to string you out to the sideline.
Anderson, 4 of 4 this drive. Blitz up the middle. Might have forced him to hurry the throw just a tiny bit, and he led Jordan Todman too far.
Yeah, Derek Anderson, he hung in there as long as he could. Patriots defense send this blitz right up the middle. You can see that flash right there, just outside the fingertips.
39-yard field goal attempt. Graham Gano. Jansen to snap it, Nortman to hold it. Coming right towards you, and good. So the Panthers add 3, and we will be back with more Carolina Panther football right after these messages from Uptown Charlotte. Sweet tweet from Hunter about Jericho Cotchery. Just became a fan favorite after the amazing halftime story, Jericho Cotchery and his adopted family.
Yeah, I tell you, that was a great story, and he's a great man.
That one tweet emblematic of many that came in. Cotchery is pure class. I mean, a very intelligent man. He's layered and awesome parent. Doting dad, I think you could say. So the Patriots will come out to the 20-yard line, and we'll be back with more Panther football after this word from your local Panther station.
The stadium, Carolina leads 16-7. A lot of drops today, both out of the offense. You see a couple here, and out of the defense. Josh Norman, the cornerback, who's said that he wants to have a great season, be one of the top corners in the league, with a big drop. You see it right there. He got over to the sidelines, actually pretty frustrated about it. Got into it with his coach, Steve Wilkes. Told him to calm down, just play football. But Josh Norman definitely doesn't want to make that play, guys.
Garoppolo pumps it over the middle, and Jonathan Krause was sandwiched by 2 Panthers. Ray Boston got a shoulder into him.
Well, that's one of the dangers as a wide receiver. When you come across the middle and you got somebody like Trey Boston bringing the pain, that's going to make him think twice next time when he comes across the middle. Glad that he's all right, though.
Trey Boston from out of North Carolina. There's Krause. LeGarrette Blunt, the tail of the eye. First down and 10. Deep drop, Garoppolo. Teddy Williams broke on that just in time. Dobson, the intended receiver.
Teddy Williams has had a good preseason, had a good game against the Miami Dolphins last week, and you can see this play right here as he's coming across the middle of the field just to make up speed to get that left arm in there to knock that ball away.
Garoppolo could have led him by another few feet, helped Dobson out as well. Deion Lewis in the backfield. Second down and 10, Jimmy Garoppolo in New England. On the draw, Lewis. Spun down just a yard and a half shy of the first down.
Good play action fake right there. Panther defense holds up short, 2 yards. Allows them to play for third down.
Melvin White to the sideline. That was a beautiful draw. New England sold that well. Their O-linemen all did. Third down and a couple. Stopped by Chase Alexis.
You know, this defense with short yards like that, it's nothing. It's Imano. They recreate the line of scrimmage and they penetrate. And this Panther defense has swarmed all night. You don't just see one white jersey. You see 3-4 guys swarming the ball.
Saw 33 Boston give himself up, kind of submarine to stop the initial thrust of the play. Allen's punt in the direction of Bird. Fumbled it. Who's got it? Patriots do. That'll get looked at to see if Bird was down.
The ruling on the field is that the runner's progress was stopped at the 16-yard line. First down to 16. This is the end of the third quarter.
All right, fourth and final quarter coming up next as the Carolina Panthers lead the New England Patriots at Bank of America Stadium. The score at the end of 3. Here's your Bank of America stats after 3 quarters of football. Brought to you by Bank of America. Pretty good night for the Carolina Panthers, especially in time of possession.
Yeah, when you got the 10-minute advantage, that's going to bode well for your offense and your team.
Go to Jordan Gross on the sideline. Jordan, you've been watching Brian Folkerts on and off the training table a lot tonight. What's going on?
Well, they took him into the locker room now, Mick. He had a right ankle injury, and you know it was a little bit more serious than I initially thought because the trainers looked at it, but then the doctors came over and got a good look at it. He got some ice on the sidelines, and then they loaded him up, took him into the locker room for the rest of the day. We'll have to wait for a final update probably tomorrow, guys.
Meanwhile, Joe Webb in at QB. Webb takes a handoff and carries for first down yardage. Scott Simonson helping to lead the way. 8-yard run, Joe Webb. Webb's been one of the best players in pro football in the preseason.
I tell you what, he's just been an all-around MVP so far. I mean, you know, he just takes this ball and just runs behind his blocks. I mean, he's poised, he's calm. You would think that, you know, he had been around this league 17 years, the way that he has his demeanor and goes about his way of business.
Very good special teams player. He can throw you a block. He can catch a pass. He can make a tackle. And play quarterback as well. Brandon Wager dives across the 30 to the 31. Got 3. Webb's, as we said, good on special teams. He has an understanding of kickoff coverage, punt coverage. Knows where to line up. Ten on the play clock. Corey Brown. Almost.
get the sense that offensive coordinator Mike Shula is really still trying to get Brown in the game and still going to him. The best way to build confidence in a guy when he's had some drop balls is to go right back at him. And Joe Webb, nice throw, puts it right in the breadbasket. But Brown could just not hang on.
When the ball left Webb's hand, he knew it was a pretty ball, thinking it had promise. Is that Chandler who backed up early?
False start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
There Williams instead.
You know, why that hurts is now you're looking at, third and 7 or 6. Now, you're 3rd and 13. Those penalties really come back to bite you, and they really hurt.
Definitely change the page of the playbook Coach Shula might go to. Webb retreats. Escapes. Running. The Panthers won the flag. Coach Rivera very upset.
Yeah, I love Joe Webb's energy. You see Coach Rivera really not happy about the extra push at the end. He keeps this play alive. This is all Joe Webb. I mean, a quarterback pushing off blockers after blockers is able to get downfield. He's still looking downfield. But you see that second guy that comes in, hits him way out of bounds, and that's what Coach Rivera was really upset about.
Logan Ryan hit him. Here's the Matt Wild punt in for Nortman. Harper. To the 40. Coach Rivera still mad about a no call on his quarterback. Joe Webb on the sideline. Carolina Panthers lead New England by 9. Panthers up 9, and on the sideline, Jordan Gross is joined by a luminary who can give Jordan some dance tips, I think.
Yeah, Mike Tolbert, we were talking about before we came back on out of the break. Nice dance moves on that touchdown pass. It had to feel good.
It did, man. It felt good, to get in the end zone, finish off a drive. So,
you running backs don't have much fun, as we can see from Jonathan Stewart there. Talk about that special unit you guys have with that group.
Man, it's a bond you can't break. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are like brothers to me. We come off the field and we high five. We do our secret handshakes and everything, and we just have a good time on and off the field.
I love your stats tonight. 1 rush, 4 yards, 1 catch, 2 yards, 1 touchdown. That's Mike Tolbert football.
Hey, don't forget the 1 rush was for a first down.
Yeah, critical plays, whatever the team needs you to do.
Whatever I got to do, run down on kickoff, punt, whatever I need to do.
How good does it feel to be back 100%? I know you went through that broken leg last year. It was a bit of a rough season.
Yeah, man, it was tough, physically and mentally last year. But, God put me in this position for a reason. And I feel great, back 100%, lost a little weight, feeling good about myself. I'm ready to ride.
I wasn't going to say anything, but you do look really good, buddy.
I appreciate it because, a few months ago you told me I was a little chunky.
Well, you asked me honestly, and
because we're friends, so I figured you one guy I could ask because you lost a lot of weight. You said, yeah, you're on the chunky side, so I had to get down for you.
Well, you look really good, but you got one more preseason game. I know the starters probably won't play. You probably won't play. How excited are you to get to Jacksonville where you can open up that playbook with the real offense, the full book, and also all the players back on the field?
I mean, it's really exciting because we get to just get out there and open up and have a good time and not worry about when we're coming out or what's going to happen. We can just keep getting the flow of the game. We're going to miss KB, but we're going to make up for it.
All right, Mike, thanks for your time, man. Love watching you. Have a good rest of the year.
Appreciate it, bro. Love you, man.
All right, Mick, back to you.
Thanks, guys. Great job. Meanwhile, back at the hotel, Aaron Dobson ran the stutter go to perfection. Garoppolo threw a pretty ball to him, 40 yards to set New England up. Garoppolo in the gun, 3-by-2 set. Touchdown. Deion Lewis.
Yeah, the defensive line, the offensive line of the New England Patriots dove at the defensive line to get them hands down, and it really opened up the field for this touchdown.
Look at the play that set it up.
Garoppolo, see with the little pump fake that holds that safety right there, allows him that time to get that ball. And then you see the defensive line keeping their hands down, and opens up that window for Garoppolo to fire that ball in the middle.
Gostkowski for the point after touchdown, and it is good. So New England's not dead yet. They answer, pulled to within 2. Back with more Panther Patriots football, but first a word from your local Panther station. 2-point ball game. Carolina still in the lead. We're in the 4th quarter at Bank of America Stadium. Your Belk scoring drive brought to you by Belk. The 40-yard throw was the big one to Dobson. 4 plays, 60 yards, and the touchdown. Back to school merchandise for youngsters like that, flying off the shelves of Belk and Belk.com. The approach. Long kickoff. Panthers will come out to the 20. The beautiful area view of one of the most lovely southern cities there is, Charlotte, North Carolina. Mick and Mike upstairs. Jordan Gross on the sideline. He had an offensive star of the game in Mike Tolbert a second ago. Who you got now, Jordan?
I got Dwan Edwards, the veteran leader of that defensive line. Some people say it's Charles Johnson, but that's not true. It's Dwan Edwards. Dwan, how did it go tonight?
It went pretty well. We wish we wouldn't have given up the long drive right before halftime, but other than that, we feel pretty good about our defensive effort.
A lot of people say the preseason, maybe the starters don't care about it that much. I saw you make some big plays out there, get a little excited afterwards, a little bit of dancing or at least celebrating. You care about what's going on that field.
You want to win every time you step on the field. Obviously, going up against the Super Bowl champs, Tom Brady, you want to put a good effort in. It's probably going to be one of the last times starters get a lot of playing time, so we want to go out and end it on a good note, and I feel like we did pretty well.
Defensive end's been a question mark for your defensive line this entire training camp. You lose Frank Alexander last week. I know you have confidence in those other young guys. How you feel about your group so far?
I feel good. We've got a great bunch of guys. They're working their butts off every day, trying to get better and improve, and that's what we're gonna have to have it. We need it. You know, no other choice but for those guys to step up and play well for us, and I think they will.
Last week of the preseason, when I was a player, I always loved it because they took it a little more easy on us. Older guys gave us a little extra time off. I know you're looking forward to getting your legs back.
I am. I want to be fresh and ready to go when we get to Jacksonville, and I'm looking forward to this time to prepare, get better, rest, and be full speed, full swing when we get to Jacksonville.
Well, thanks, Dwan, and congratulations. You had your 5th child this offseason. You're a braver man than I am, man. You got to be getting no sleep at night. Thanks, Dwan.
Oh, thanks for having me, and thanks for the congratulations on my new son, man. He's awesome. What a blessing.
All right, guys, back to you, Mick.
Dwan's got to come to work just to get some rest. 3rd down, Joe Webb almost intercepted. Just narrowly, Logan Ryan narrowly missed a pick 6. Webb living a bit scarily.
Well, Mike Brown went from receiver to DB really quick as he saw that the defensive guy made a play on the ball. He sticks his hand right back in there to kind of knock that ball down.
Carolina to punt it. While Jordan was talking to Dwan Edwards, we saw Jordan Todman get his shake and bake on just a little. A 6-yard run, kind of the highlight of this 3 and out, if there is such a thing. Wobbly punt. Harper to the 38. 45-yard punt and 7 on the return. Back with more Panther football right after these words from Bank of America Stadium. On the Bud Light scoreboard, Carolina leads the New England Patriots by 2, 16-14. Around the NFL, Kansas City and Tennessee are 20-10 Chiefs in the 3rd. Jacksonville and Detroit still in a tight one. This wrap around the league presented by Bud Light. I'd like to make a date with you for Thursday night. Panthers at Pittsburgh. The gang will all be there on Panthers Network TV. 4th and final preseason game. Garoppolo to Dobson. For a first down. 11 yards. It goes by fast, doesn't it, Mike? Preseason football.
It does, and here's a pretty good throw right here. The Panthers think and run with the 8-man box. The pitch catch by Garoppolo.
Garrett Blunt, the big bopper, is in. Straight ahead to the 47. He's a hard man to bring down to Garrett Blunt. But Dean Marlowe came up and got a piece of the action.
You know, the thing about Blunt, he runs hard. And he can run outside the tackles, but runs really well inside those tackles. You give him that ball and allow him to just go downhill.
Rough and tough, LeGarrette Blunt. Garoppolo's got Devlin near side, and then Devlin is yanked down by Mayo. Dean Marlowe also defending. Devlin's hurt. Chemical engineering major at Brown. And in some discomfort.
David Mayo, he makes his tackle. He throws him down with some authority. You can kind of see that right leg kind of sticking in the ground as he's being tossed. You see him grab that right leg really quick.
Third-year player. His good aggressiveness by Mayo. You hate to see the injury, of course.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Mayo never quits on the play, and he's aggressive with the tackle. You never want to see someone hurt. It happens. And sometimes when your foot gets caught in the turf sometimes. Well, the Panthers, they've had a couple of nicks. They've lost 2 guys for the season already. So injuries will happen in this game, and I think all teams account for it. You know, KB, Kelvin Benjamin right here, he's just running around and he just falls down and, you know, is torn and lost for the year with the ACL. And Frank Alexander, again, he just plants his foot, non-contact, and is a torn Achilles, lost for the year. So injuries happen, coaches account for them. You just hope that they're not your big stars.
Well, the cart, while we were showing that to you, a cart coming across the field to the numbers near side to get James Devlin and take him to the locker room. As we said, Ivy Leaguer, Chem E, a very rigorous major, chemical engineering. It's right up there with journalism, mass communications, would you say, Ruck?
Sounds very smart to me. You just hope that he's okay and there's not something serious.
2 catches, 17 yards tonight for him. Kind of player that every team is looking for. Tough, bright, and versatile.
Yeah, the way that they're holding that leg looks like it's more than just a sprain. The way that everybody, you see Coach Belichick coming out, and you'll have guys from both teams, you know, wishing him the best of luck. That's one thing that'll bring guys together is an injury, regardless of what side of the ball. No one wants to see anybody get hurt. Bill Belichick walking back toward his boundary. David Mayo talking to his mates. And there's Devlin. See the score and time remaining, 8:01. Jimmy Garoppolo, quick release, big arm, played at Eastern Illinois, broke all of, not only, you'll like this, Ruck, not only did he break all of Tony Romo's records at Eastern Illinois, but the records set by Sean Payton, coach of the Saints, who played quarterback at Eastern Illinois. And those are some good people and really big records to beat. You know, he's going to be the guy that they want to take the reins when Tom Brady steps down. Meanwhile, Teddy Williams breaks up the Garoppolo pass intended for Harper. We've called the name of Teddy Ballgame, Teddy Williams, a lot this year. Well, I tell you what, like we talked about earlier, him having a very good camp, very aggressive at the point of attack, allows himself to get that hand, left hand in there to knock the ball away.
Teddy Williams. Split backs, Lewis and White. Garoppolo screen to Lewis. One Panther misses, the second one does not. Glenn. Good young linebackers, Mayo and Glenn. A.J. Klein in that group as well. Shaq Thompson. Garoppolo had a private quarterback coach ever since middle school. He's been groomed for this. On third down, hands off to Lewis. Lewis's game, he's still fighting. Hit down by Klein at the 36.
Lewis looked like a boxer right there. Looked like he was bobbing and weaving. But not enough to get the first down.
Look at this. Gostkowski's going to come on and try a long one. Setting up for a 53-yarder. Gostkowski is insanely accurate. This from 53. NFL scoring leader 3 straight years. Low snap, handled. Kick is airborne. Incredible. After that snap and the low one, this is a good spot. Gostkowski put it through with plenty to spare.
And that ball didn't move at all. It just went, once it left his foot, it went straight down the pipe.
So the Patriots lead at 17-16. Now the Panthers have to come back to win the game. Several Panthers have had good nights tonight. Mike Tolbert, the Dancing Bear, one of them. The Quan. Is that what that is?
I just love, you know, his interview with Jordan Groves. I mean, you can see how funny he is, and you know, whether he's talking about his weight with Jordan or he's talking about dancing. One thing that caught my eye was like, hey, don't forget that 1-yard touchdown. It just shows how funny he could be.
When the Panthers win, you win. On the Monday following every Panther win this season, you get a dozen original glazed Krispy Kreme donuts. It's hard to even pronounce with all the saliva that it works up for just $3.99 at Krispy Kreme. Brooke, you got to come with me to see Inez at the Krispy Kreme in Spartanburg.
I'll be there. You don't have to twist my arm too much.
Next year's training camp. Ozzie Whitaker takes a knee. Ken Dorsey coming up saying something in Joe Webb's here. Good young quarterback coach, Ken Dorsey.
And I think that he's been really good for Cam, you know, being able to talk to him and help Cam mature, and having Joe Webb and Derek Anderson, the veteran. So it's a good mix in that room.
Dorsey played quarterback at the U. Won a lot of games there. Verson motions to become part of the trips right set. Jordan Todman probing. Up inside for a yard or two. Ken Dorsey is one of those wiry dudes that you don't really realize what a great collegiate athlete he was, and he had a pro career as well when you stand next to him and talk, but he's coordinated.
Yeah, he's a tall guy. If you walk by, you might not think much, but you know, had the ability playing that position, and is again really helping these quarterbacks grow.
That shell game with a read with reverse motion gives the defense a lot to look at. 6-yard gain right up the middle.
And a lot of that motion is to try to confuse the defense with all those different reads. Are they running the reverse? Are they running the quarterback with Webb because he has that capability, or is he handing it off?
Patriots are pointing at the left side of the Carolina O-line. Penalty marker thrown.
5-yard penalty. Still third down.
False start, Ricky Henry.
And Mick, that hurts because, you know, you're 3rd and 1 and you have a lot of options. And now you go to 3rd and 6 where you know that you're probably going to maybe have to throw the football.
Good words, Ruck. And the Panthers are fighting for their lives here, trying to come back and win the game. And now another penalty. Don't want to quick call it, but Chris Scott was one of the ones that looked like might have moved.
Yeah, if it is so, Coach Guerrero's not going to be happy, but
Neutral zone infraction, defense, number 90. It's a 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
There you go, so I'm glad they didn't quick call it.
well, you see they get the yards back, but you'll see number 90 for the New England Patriots right there. Jumps off sides and now allows Scott to move, and then that's a great call right there. Now you're back into 3rd and 1 with all your options.
Webb sneaking. 1st down, Carolina Panthers. Big, strong, muscular quarterback, Joe Webb.
You can see what 3rd and 1 allows you to do, a quarterback sneak, and just a great push by the offensive line to allow Joe Webb to get that extra yard for the 1st down.
Many teams aid the runner, have the fullback or the tailback slam into the quarterback and push him forward. The Panthers ran it very cleanly and legally there. Fresh series of downs for Webb and the Panther offense. Webb pulls away. Coming back near side. Throws a prayer for Wager, who drops it. Oh, the humanity.
Wow. Like Houdini. This play, you see Joe Webb. We saw it earlier where he just makes people miss. Makes 2-3 guys miss there. Pushes on somebody else. And this play almost looked like the Buffalo game, where Wager caught that and took it in for a touchdown. So great job by Joe Webb keeping that play alive with his feet.
Total of 8 drops tonight unofficially, 6 offensively, 2 defensively. Webb on 2nd down. Off balance, throws high, incomplete. Boykin, the intended receiver.
If Joe Webb did anything wrong, it was throwing off that back foot there. He's the type of guy that can't do a whole lot wrong, but got kind of lucky there throwing off that back foot that wasn't intercepted.
The escapability of Joe Webb. He prolonged that play, it seemed like, for about a week. And had something.
He did. He had some options. Almost had it.
On 3rd and 10. Ball sailed on Webb, of course. Even Boykin get up high enough. So now the Panthers have to punt it away with Matt Lyle, 3:33 to go. Robert McLean, former Panther. Remember him from Connecticut 5 years ago?
I do.
Great look right down the hash marks at the punt protection. Very high punt, big time punt. And McLean back upfield for a handful. Over 5 seconds of hang time, 5.03, 54-yard punt, 5 on the return. Let's take a look at our 4th drive of the game. The lone Panther touchdown. Set up with some pinpoint passing. Newton again. Newton to Burson. Newton to Olsen. And then Newton to Tolbert. The 4th drive of the game. Tolbert's got the music in him. Get all that heft moving in perfect timing.
Well, the neat thing about that
Carolina
drive
takes its second timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
The neat thing about that drive is that the Cam spread the ball across the field, left to right to multiple people, and then Mike Tolbert finished it out.
Don't even need to see the face. You just know that's Cam Newton under the Gatorade towel. On the other side of the ball, Peanut Tillman turning in the Subway foot-long play of the game.
And I think we had a sweet tweet earlier talking about this making ESPN tonight, and I think that it will. Charles Tillman did a great job in concentration of pulling that ball away for the interception.
Garoppolo from a muddy pocket gets away and stays in bounds, slides in front of Marlowe. First down New England, 10 yards, 3 minutes to play.
Well, we've seen Joe Webb make people miss, and Garoppolo did the same right there. The Panther defender went high, and Garoppolo just ducked just enough to buy himself some time to get out of that pocket.
Jimmy Garoppolo has one of the quickest releases in the game, just a hair trigger release. Double tight ends. And who's this against?
False start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Tour the league with you again on our Bud Light scoreboard. Kansas City has scored again, up 17 over the Titans. Panthers will play at Tennessee this year, and then Jacksonville, where the Panthers open, still a tight game, a 4-point game in the fourth quarter there. Same formation, same personnel grouping, and Tony Reese here was at the Garrett Blunt. It was Blunt.
Carolina takes its third and final timeout. This is a 30-second timeout.
Jason Trusnick. Heard the referee Clete Blakeman say the Panthers now out of timeouts at the 2:28 mark in a 1-point game. Let's go to Jordan Gross. What do you think of the first team offense, Jordan, when it was good on good in this game?
I thought that first drive of the second half was so important for this offense and for Cam Newton in particular. There were only 2 runs in that drive, and Cam threw a touchdown pass to Mike Tolbert to finish it off. That's the note you want to end on in this third preseason game. You never want to come out of this game on a bad note, on a bad series. First team offense now on the sidelines, smiling, enjoying the fact that they can get themselves ready for going down to Jacksonville to open the season.
Jordan, what did the first team defense show you?
They were good when they came out. Luke Kuechly had his gloves off when he came out after halftime. Thomas Davis did tell me he was mad they didn't let him go back in because he wishes he could have had another chance to make a play after that touchdown throw over the top of him by the Patriots.
Kuechly and Davis plus almost anyone would be a good linebacking core. You add in Thompson and Klein and Glanton and others, it becomes a cut above.
The 2-minute warning.
So we are at 2 minutes, and we will take a break. New England by 1. Listen now to these words from your local Panther station. Full moon over Bank of America Stadium, and the Panthers trailing New England by 1 all season long. The Panthers honoring the memory of one of their all-time favorites, Sam Mills, with the key pounding player of the game. That information coming to you in a second. Right now, sidearm throw, left wing, and it is complete to Zach D'Orazio. And I think he will have the first down. 8 yards, good altering of the release point by Garoppolo. So that's our key pounding player of the game, Mike Cam Newton. As we've said, 5 for 5 on that all-important last drive.
Yes, and Jordan Gross hit the nail on the head, talking about when they came out of halftime and how they just charged down the field. And now you're able to leave this game with that positive energy. Now, they're probably not going to play next weekend against the Steelers, but that's the energy that you could take against the Jaguars.
Pats are going to deal this out with the Panthers out of timeouts. So if the suspension of Tom Brady holds, if Belichick and company, NFLPA, are unsuccessful in their appeal, Jimmy Garoppolo will be front and center for 4 games.
Well, I think this will be a good entry point for him. You know, Jimmy Garoppolo, obviously he was brought in. He's going to take the baton when that time is up. And how about the opportunity he has to be able to watch and play behind a guy like Tom Brady, learn the ins and outs without having that pressure of having to go in right away. Now he's going to get that opportunity for a number of games. He's going to have to capitalize on it and show the people that he's the guy that they want after Tom Brady.
Garoppolo 13 of 17, 126 and a touchdown. Cam Newton played well tonight. There's Jimmy Garoppolo. Cam Newton also played well. Those two dap up. So this will go, it's weird, this goes in the books as a loss, yet it comes with some better feelings from a Panther standpoint than the 2 wins over Miami and over Buffalo. Carolina Panthers lose to the Patriots tonight at Bank of America by 1.
Carolina Panthers football is being brought to you by Pepsi, official soft drink partner of the Panthers and all for the Carolinas. By Bank of America, the official bank of the Carolina Panthers. By Bojangles, your official tailgating headquarters of the Carolina Panthers. It's bow time. By Sacrete. No matter what projects are in your lineup, Sacrete has the right concrete and masonry products for the job. Use what the pros use. Ask for Sacrete at your local home improvement store. And by Miller Lite. As long as you are you, it's Miller time.
That's our broadcast tonight. It's been a joy. Next week, Pittsburgh. For Alex and the crew in the truck, Courtney and the crew in the booth. For Mike and Jordan, this is Mick Mixon. You've been watching Carolina Panther preseason football, an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers Television Network.